Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2020 Driver Career with Alfa Romeo, episode number 87 today for the Italian Grand Prix season 6, round number 8. If you of course missed the previous video at Belgium, a very chaotic race with the weather and the safety cars, then I recommend go and check that out. And of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. See plenty more F1 Driver Career Mode videos there. But just checking up on the upgrades again, thinking of tyre wear maybe as well, adding something for tyre wear. I'm a bit unknown about that because of course, for those of you who don't know, the final race at Brazil is a 100% race. Although tyre wear, I've done 50% races around Brazil, and tyre wear doesn't seem to be that hard. But nothing changed, by the way, in the R&D screen there. But I forgot to actually include that in the previous video. But nothing really changed there. Only it really shows that Williams are sort of ahead of the midfield, but they're not really showing it with their drivers. But into qualifying then, it's full wets and qualifying around Monza, which is pretty much one of the better tracks. This and Brazil are pretty much the only two tracks that I can actually get a decent result at in the wet. Any other track in the rain, and Spa actually as well, but any other track I'm just hopeless. And Canada actually as well. There's 4 tracks that I can actually, turns out I can get a result. But anyway, enough about that. 4 tenths gained out of turn 1. That's a real sticky corner for assist players on the F1 game. If you don't hit your braking zone right, and you will probably, it is an advantage to brake early, otherwise you will understeer. We've lost a bit of time coming up to the Lesbos corners, so that's unfortunate. We've lost 1/10 out of that corners. We've gone fastest in the first sector and losing time out the second Lesbos out towards Ascari. So down to only 3/10 up. We are in P10, so we're having a good time of it. And there's ahead of both Mercedes cars, although saying that, Bottas just goes ahead. Verstappen is also only just ahead of us. Kvyat as well, although saying that science also improves. Bottas is only P10, so we got a great chance, and we've improved down to Parabolica now 4.5 tenths. Out of Parabolica up to 5 tenths up on our previous best time. Let's see what this is good enough. Was that P4 I saw on the left hand side? It is. That's the best qualifier. If you've been watching this series, you'll know that I'm a terrible qualifier in this series, but that's the best qualifying that we've had in this Alfa Romeo car, the best qualifying we've had since I took pole at Belgium last year in season 5. Russell down in 15th. Well, looks improved. Time for the race.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today here at the oldest circuit on the calendar. Monza hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. With the rain coming down here at the 3.6-mile Monza circuit, the low drag setups preferred by most teams could cause them some problems in today's Grand Prix. So watch out for cars struggling for grip around Parabolica, the last and most demanding of this track's 11 corners. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's start with the new Alfa Romeo driver. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel and an Alfa Romeo, Alexander Albon and Magnussen, Sainz, Ocon, Norris and Antonio Giovinazzi, Bottas, Verstappen, Daniel Kvyat and Latifi, Russell, Giotto, Lance Stroll and Guan Yu Zhou, De Vries and Nobuharu Matsushita. And now it's time to head down to the track.
This is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth watching.
I think we can give the Tifosi a race worth watching. It's going to be a no-stop race. because it's going to rain for the entire race on Inters, so better race tyre for me personally. But let's see what we can do then. 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix, and away we go. And it's a poor start. Yeah, I mean, we've got the about traction there as the HMS Britannica, but they're all going to the right hand side. I fancy a dive bomb to the to the race to the outside, and it's come off an absolute treat on Gasly and Vettel. Caught them napping. Why would they? I don't know why they were going to the right hand side. All of them. Eventually Gasly thinks about it, but it's too late. He takes the inside curbing at turn 1, and we just cut across them for turn 2 as well. But of course Gasly's not moving there. Leclerc is 2.5 seconds already up the road, so he's a sell off into the sunset. I want to keep ahead of Gasly. If we could get a podium there, that would be nice, as Gasly tried to overtake us around the outside of Parabolica, but Carlos Sainz, who's come from behind Vettel, what's going to happen to Vettel? He's going to take the inside of Vettel, and then Vettel's going to be blocked by Gasly, so Sainz a double overtake there at Parabolica. And already Vettel's coming under fire from Kevin Magnussen. Vettel takes the curbing, as the AI like to do, on the inside, and that always gives them the worst traction at turn 2. A little bit predictable there. As we jump to lap 5, Sainz is now having a go as he wants second place. Gasly, of course, is going to be the big man. We bang tyres with Sainz down to Parabolica. We're going to try and take the inside line as we lose the traction a little bit, and just manage to make it through. And Sainz does the reverse on Gasly does the reverse on Sainz, and Sainz is losing more positions now out to Magnussen and Vettel. Vettel's going to have a go at Magnussen, but again he's going to take that inside curb at turn 2, which is going to give Magnussen the position. So Sainz down to P6 from what was P2, as Gasly now has a go at us around the outside into the end of the first sector, but nothing there for Gasly as we defend the inside line. And now Sainz is going to have a try and have a go at Vettel out of the second Lesbos. Can the Mercedes driver get ahead of the Ferrari down to Ascari? Sainz is ahead, but Vettel has the inside line. This will be interesting to see if Vettel out-tractions Sainz, which he seems to outbrake him, into the Ascari section, and moves ahead back up into retains P5 as Gasly once again has another go at us into turn 7. Again there's some more tyre banging with Gasly, and we once again retain P2 as Leclerc is jacked out already. Well, the championship is probably his anyway, as Gasly has another go at us now. Lap number 8. Gasly, of course, is in second place in the championship, but needs to win, and pretty much knows that his championship's pretty much been over by myself, as Gasly once again has another go down to Parabolica on lap number 10. Around the outside it seems to be that, but they don't keep their foot in as we go very sideways through Parabolica, and eventually just about managed to get the traction, keep it in a straight line. We span at Parabolica last year and put us in the wall, and we got no points. This time we managed to hold on, and also hold on against Gasly. But now we jump to lap 11 and out of Ascari. Again, not the greatest move, and there goes Gasly. I don't know if he hit the back of us or something. So we're on board with Gasly coming through Ascari. Now you can see my little drift, and then there's no contact there. I think Gasly's got an engine failure at literally that moment, which is a little bit weird. But anyway, his teammate Magnussen's going to continue the fight for AlphaTauri, but again doesn't keep his foot in around the outside of Parabolic, and we're able to keep ahead his Gasly confirmation there. He's out of the session as we jump to the last lap, and he's definitely losing a lot of grip. I think it's the rear tyres. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my setup or me, but in the intermediate conditions like this, my rears are always higher, like double the percentage of the front, which is alarming for me, because it means it doesn't matter. Anyway, because we've come out the final corner, we've managed to get second place. Doing nothing but holding on for literally dear life in some of those corners with the amount of drifts we were pulling at some point. Second place, I'll take that.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion.
So Charles Leclerc is a Drivers' World Championship. I think he's a 2-time champion in this series, because I think he was champion back in season 2, I think. Don't quote me on that, I will have to double check that. But yes, I'll definitely take second place, especially the fact that we were a second slower than Leclerc. But that qualifying result, P4, really set us up. Russell had a good race, but unable to capitalise, really, unable to get ahead up into it, and only finished 11th. So unlucky for George. He's getting there. I think he's getting there. He's come out of his cycle of bad form and is improving. We're up now into P4 in the Drivers' Championship, which if we take P4 then I'll be happy. We're only 17 points behind Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship as well, which is very good.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You're surpassing all expectations. Can anything or anyone stop you?
Well, we are a 1-time world champion, Claire, in this series.
You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
I think she knows the answer to this question after 6 seasons.
Cannot be serious!
I think we all know about Claire. Hopefully this is the third to last time we have to see her in this series. Interesting though, Carlos Sainz is retiring along with us, so that's nice to see. I mean, similarly aged to Carlos anyway, so yes, it's nice to see that we're going to go out our old rival from season 5, the man that pushed us towards the World Championship until he basically bottled it. There we go then. P4 in the championship. I definitely didn't think we'd be getting 3 podiums in this Alfa Romeo. I do think that, I don't know how we managed to pull that 4th place qualifying out of the bag. Yes, and also the AI at the turn 1 going to the right was a huge mistake for them. But Gasly, I think he can hold his head up high. He's done very well to get 3 second places. Vettel hasn't been at his game. I don't know if he's because remember he was very dominant at the end of last season, season 5, but now he's just not really there. I'm surprised he's not thinking about retiring as well after this season as well. That's where I'm going to leave it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for the new, see plenty more F1 driver career mode videos as and when they come out. Until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.